All right. Good morning, everyone. And Debbie, I don't want you to miss the little green guy. Oh no, his other ear is poking out of his caboose. Um, oh no, because he's reversible, little green guy, Baby Yoda, Grogu. Um, what's wrong with his head today? Okay, so hopefully everybody is aware that the extra food stamps, the extra SNAP benefits, CalFresh, the extra, the plus up, the bonus, that is ending. I'm showing that most people should have received that extra last payment that raises you to the maximum. That should have hit today, actually. So make sure that if you're relying on that, especially in light of all of the high inflation on essentials like eggs and milk and cereal and coffee creamer, all those things that are just a lot more expensive now than before, that's kind of what I would stock up on, not and shelf stable items, especially if you're a coffee drinker. That's probably what I would spend the extra on. I'm a coffee drinker. If you're trying to feed the family, maybe pasta sauces, things that you can put in the pantry that aren't going to spoil, that'll help feed you if times really get tough later on down the road. Hi, Michael. You've heard that college students can get food stamps as well. How easy is that process? So, food stamps are based on income and need. Let's Google that for a second. Autism matters. I will stand up. I hope this isn't for a creepy reason. From head to toe. My room might not be big enough. Here we go. This shirt makes me look bigger. Anyway, that's as much as you get. That's the outfit today. I'm going to work later. So sorry, Mom, if you thought I was coming over today. I'm not. Also, this part on my door really bothers me. I think that wood is rotted out. I think that's what that is. So that's the kind of house I have. I do have a house that I'm making payments on, but literally the autism matters. You behave. Good morning, Bonnie. Anyway, I literally think the wood is rotting out of the top of my house. I think that was happening before I bought it, though. And then the reason why is it exposed. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's talk about food stamps for a minute. And I think the easiest way for me to do that is probably by sharing my screen. And I don't have the right window open yet. So let me get that open. And let's just Google. I don't know why I always type in Google before just typing into the bar, but I do, maybe because I'm old. I think that's an old person thing. Anyway, okay, so can college students get food stamps? This is one of those things. Okay. Hunger free. Okay, so this talks about, EBT for students. This is normally young students. Let's go to this. I don't like going to sponsored projects. Let's try this one. College SNAP project. Okay, let's try it. Let's try that. CalFresh. And this is not a government website. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing. Yes, I am. This is not a government website, but so far it kind of looks accurate. Okay. CalFresh, California's SNAP program, provides supplemental income for purchasing food to low-income households. An eligible person or family receives an electronic benefits transfer, EBT card, which is used like any other debit card at the grocery store. The card uses money from a CalFresh account set up for the eligible person or family to pay for food items. Are college students eligible for SNAP? Students 18 to 49 attending an institution of higher education like a college, university, trade school, or technical school more than half time are considered eligible for SNAP if they meet an exemption and meet all other SNAP eligibility requirements. You can ask your school what qualifies as half-time. And guys, just from me going to college, I remember, I think full-time was considered, it's based on units, at least it was back when I was going to school. So 12 units was considered full-time. Okay, so also we'll go to the official website in a second because one of you asked about actually applying for food stamps. So we'll do that in a second. Anyway, halftime, I believe at the time at my community college was 6 units. First, what are student exemptions? Okay, is this COVID-19 temporary update? Now, a lot of the COVID restrictions are ending, which is why the extra food stamps are ending. So, are these staying? When are these ending? All right, let's just read them. They are eligible to participate in state or federally financed work study during the regular school year. Your school determines if you're eligible for work study. Or they have an expected family contribution, EFC, of 0 in the current academic year based on the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So also when I went to community college, I did qualify for student aid. I qualified for FAFSA and the Pell Grant based on my mom's income, which was, I think, nothing at the time. Nothing wrong with that. It means that I got my community college for free, which was great. Ba, 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 ba. So back when I was going to school, my mom's contribution would have been 0. That was my expected family contribution. So perhaps I could have got food stamps back then. But again, this is in yellow and it's the COVID-19 temporary update. So I'm not sure what the permanent updates are. Okay, in addition to the temporary COVID-19 exemptions, students can always meet one of the following exemptions to qualify for SNAP. Okay. Are under age 18 or are age 50 or older, have a physical or mental disability, work at least 20 hours a week in a paid employment, participate in a state or federally financed work study program, participate in an on-the-job training program, care for a child under the age of 6, care for a child age 6 to 11, and lack the necessary child care enabling them to attend school and work 20 hours a week or participate in work study, are a single parent enrolled in full-time college and taking care of a child under 12, receive temporary assistance for needy families, TANF assistance, are enrolled in a TANF Job Opportunities and Basic Skills Jobs program, are assigned to, placed in, or self-placed in a college or other institution of higher education through a SNAP Employment and Training, SNAP E&T program, certain other E&T programs for low-income households, which are operated by a state or local government and have equivalent component to SNAP E&T, a program under Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014, a WIOA, or a Trade Adjustment Assistance Program under Section 236 of the Trade Act of 1974. What are the income requirements? Okay, so this chart shows the gross monthly eligibility standard based on family size, considering 130% of the federal poverty line, or FPL. The FPL is set by the federal government each year, is calculated centered on family size and income. FPL determines eligibility for many federal and state public programs. And when was this article written? It doesn't say. Okay, so if your household size is just one person, you would need to make before taxes $1,396. That's not a paycheck, that's a month. You would need to make less than that a month in order to qualify for food stamps. And then your net income would need to be less than $1,074. All right. So did that answer the questions on SNAP? Okay. You work for DoorDash. This is April. Every 6 months, you have to do your 6-month report, and they base your benefits on the prior monthly income. Do they only do that for independent contractors, DoorDash, or for everyone? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say, although I love talking about finance and my mom gets food stamps, this is not necessarily like my area of expertise. I will say that my mom has to update her income. She just recently had to update her income. I don't think it's every 6 months for her, but she is over 62. She's 75. So I'm not sure if the requirements for reporting are different for a senior than they are for someone who's not a senior. Now, April, I actually like that they're asking you every 6 months because I've just had a friend, even during the pandemic, she would have been eligible for food stamps, but she was like, I don't want to do it. She's like, I did it before. She reported her income to them. She said, hey, because you're supposed to report right away if there's a significant change in your income. She says that she reported it right away, and they continued to give her the same amount of food stamps. So she thought, oh, I'm good because I did what I was supposed to. I reported it. I sent in my documents. And then, Patty, I think you might be right on that. Give me 2 seconds. So, anyway, like they hit her with an overpayment notice because they didn't, even though she reported the change in her earnings on time, they didn't catch it in time to actually make the adjustment. So they kept paying her the same amount. She spent it because she thought, okay, well, I'm good because I reported it to my caseworker, the Department of Social Services. She did everything that she was supposed to do. They continued giving her the same amount of food stamps instead of adjusting it down. Then when they eventually caught up to it, they were like, hey, we want that money back. So I wouldn't want to see you in a situation like that. So I do kind of think in your situation where your income is probably fluctuating quite a bit based on how often you drive, all the factors for an independent contractor, someone working DoorDash or Uber Eats. Since that can kind of change pretty rapidly month to month, I think it's better that they're asking you that way. They don't hit you for some sort of overpayment. Okay. You think seniors can make more than $1,300. And guys, it's kind of like with unemployment. When in doubt, apply. Right? The worst they can do is tell you no. My mom hadn't applied for food stamps in a really long time. And then during the pandemic, something happened and we realized that potentially she was eligible to get them. And then requirements for social SNAP benefits over 65. Okay. So right here, okay, this looks like it's the federal requirement. SNAP special rules for the elderly or disabled. So this should be like the federal site. Okay. Who is elderly? If you're 60 or older, who is disabled. In SNAP, if you're disabled, if you meet one of the following criteria, you receive federal disability or blindness payments. including supplemental security income, SSI, or Social Security disability or blindness payments, or you receive state disability or blindness payments based on SSI rules, or you receive disability retirement benefit, or you receive an annuity under the Railroad Retirement Act and are eligible for Medicare or are considered disabled under SSI, or you're a veteran who is totally disabled, permanently homebound, or in need of regular aid and attendance, or you are the surviving spouse or child of a veteran who is receiving VA benefits and is considered permanently disabled. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of these, but so it looks like the requirements are different if you are a senior. Okay, to get SNAP benefits, you must apply in the state in which you currently live. Most SNAP eligibility rules apply to all households, but there are some special rules for households with elderly or disabled members that are described here. If your household does not have an elderly or disabled member, you should read the general SNAP eligibility rules. Oh, and the information here, this is good for October 1st of 2022 through September 30th of 2023. Okay, so but where does it say what the different requirements are? What are the special rules? Does it say? Let's go to the California site. Hi, Mom. The poverty guideline is used for everyone to determine eligibility. Different requirements for lots of different issues like income that varies or is set. Hi, Francis. Francis, do you still have pictures from when you did my hair? Also, my head where it got dinged is totally better. Mom, I think it is different though, because look, right here, households may have 2,750 in countable resources such as cash or money in a bank account. No, okay, hold on. Let's just go SNAP for older adults. Let's see. ca.gov, myths and facts about CalFresh for older adults. This seems like a good one. And this is a .gov website. This is the CDSS. Myth, CalFresh is welfare. Fact, CalFresh is a nutrition assistance program. Myth, older adults only receive $16 a month in CalFresh. Fact, $16 is the smallest amount you can receive. The average amount of CalFresh for older adults is much higher, and even $16 a month equals almost $200 a year, which can really help stretch your household budget. That's true. Myth, older adults cannot own or be buying a home. If they own or are buying a home, the government will take it. Fact, you can own or buy a home and have cars and still get CalFresh. The CalFresh program does not require a person to sign away their home. Myth, older adults must go to the CalFresh office for an interview. Fact, if you're not able to go to the CalFresh office, you may require a telephone interview, which my mom hates because she has trouble hearing. But anyway, myth, you have to go to CalFresh office every few months to keep getting benefits. Fact, households in which all adult members are seniors may only have to recertify every 24 months. And counties must provide the option to waive the face-to-face interview if all household members are 60 or older or have a disability. You may want to ask for a telephone interview, or a friend or family member can go for you. That doesn't sound right. But this is the official thing. Maybe they meant to say with you. Myth, older adults are only allowed $3,250 in resources. Fact, in most cases, there is no resource limit for CalFresh. You may be eligible even if you have money in savings and retirement accounts. And this is a lot. Okay, whatever. Myth, older adults do not receive credit for medical and prescription drug bills. Fact, certain medical expenses are deducted from the household's gross income to help older adults receive a greater amount of CalFresh. Out-of-pocket medical expenses that exceed $35 a month may be deducted unless an insurance company or someone who is not a household member pays for them. Only the amount over $35 can be deducted. Myth, older adults must stand in line at a crowded office to apply. Fact, older adults can apply online, request that an application be mailed to them, or download, mail, or fax an application. Myth, CalFresh is only for families with children. Fact, CalFresh is for eligible individuals and families, including older adults. Myth, I don't want to ask for help from the government and take CalFresh from someone else who needs it more. Fact, by receiving CalFresh benefits, you are not taking benefits away from another person. Everyone who applies and is determined to be eligible will get CalFresh benefits. The USDA sets aside funds for the program, and when people who are eligible don't participate in the program, millions of dollars go unused. This is money that can help stimulate your local economy and help create jobs in your community. And that's true. Like, so what they're saying there is like, let's say that you're a senior and you haven't applied to get food stamps yet. So you're not getting them, but potentially you could be eligible. And you're like, I don't want to take it from someone who needs it. The money's set aside anyway. And how it could stimulate the economy is if you're going into your grocery store and you're buying eggs, you're buying milk from that grocery store. So you're buying it from your local area, then it can help create jobs, because if that grocery store starts to get busier, then that grocery store needs to hire more employees, and that's beneficial for the economy. Okay. So myth, senior households who receive CalFresh will not be able to receive Meals on Wheels. Households can receive CalFresh and still get Meals on Wheels. You can use CalFresh to purchase food at the store. This means you'll have extra food in addition to your Meals on Wheels. Myth, if I am receiving Social Security retirement or disability benefits, I am not eligible for CalFresh. And Mom, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's where that changed at some point. And this is what made it eligible for you to start getting it, I believe. Fact, both Social Security, SSA, and disability, SSDI, and SDI recipients are eligible to apply for CalFresh. In fact, most older adults or people with disabilities don't have to pass the gross income test. It says most. Also, various expenses such as medicine, mortgage, home insurance, and electricity cost are taken into account before checking for eligibility. Supplemental Security Income, SSI recipients also get a state supplemental payment, SSP, and are not eligible for CalFresh because the benefit amount they receive already includes money for food. Interesting. However, other household members who are not receiving SSI/SSP might still be eligible. Additionally, if the recipient recently moved to California and is not yet receiving SSP, they may be eligible for CalFresh until they begin receiving SSP. Okay, so that's about the seniors. Let's see. Sorry. Center for Budget. Each state's website. Their local food banks. Assets need to fall beneath a certain amount. Let's go over what counts as income in terms of SNAP. SNAP counts cash income from all sources, including earned income and unearned income, such as cash assistance, Social Security, unemployment insurance, and child support. Okay. Let's see here. Autism. I do like Chili's. However, I have to work tonight. Okay, so again, since the extra EBT is ending, the extra SNAP, the extra CalFresh, please make sure to try and budget and get long-term things that they don't give out at the food bank often, like coffee, that kind of thing. Hold on. Extra food stamps ending. Okay, let's look at this again. Okay. So, first of all, not every state was still giving out that extra SNAP benefits. Okay. Let's see what my mom says. In 2019, the law changed. Now those on VA, SSI, and Social Security of any type can be eligible, but it depends on if your income is below the poverty guidelines. So, yeah. Okay. So, temporary pandemic SNAP benefits will end in remaining 35 states in March of 2023. So, not every state was still giving out the extra food stamps to begin with. Okay, and then this article is from February 6th of 2023, and it says the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP Emergency Allotments, EAs, temporary benefit increases that Congress enacted to address rising food insecurity and provide economic stimulus during the COVID-19 pandemic will end after the February 2023 issuances. And again, the reason why there's a payment now is because this is the payment. This is when they're issuing the February payment. This will result in a benefit cut for every SNAP household in the jurisdictions that are still paying EAs, 32 states, the District of Columbia, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Every household in those states will receive at least $95 a month less. Some households who under regular SNAP rules receive low benefits because they have somewhat higher but still modest incomes will see reductions of $250 a month or more. The average person will receive about $90 a month less in SNAP benefits. So that's a lot. Okay, so the food budget for people receiving SNAP benefits on average is about to decrease by $90. The temporary benefits pushed back against hunger and hardship during COVID. A study estimated that EAs kept 4.2 million people above the poverty line in the last quarter of 2021. So the last quarter of 2021, that's October, November, December of 2021, and we're in 2023. So sorry, we were still definitely recovering from the pandemic in 2021. Reducing poverty by 10%, and child poverty by 14% in states with EAs at the time. The estimated reduction in poverty rates due to the EAs was the highest for Black and Latino people. The end of the temporary EAs will be a significant change that will increase food hardship for many individuals and families, given the modest amount of basic SNAP benefits and high recent inflation in food prices. Without the EAs, SNAP benefits will average only about $6.10 per person per day in 2023. That average daily benefit is about $1.35 higher per person per day this year than it would have been as a result of the recent adjustment to the Thrifty Food Plan, the TFP, which is the basis of SNAP benefits. The Agricultural Department, the USDA, adjusted the TFP effective in fiscal year 2022 under a congressional mandate to reevaluate it. The resulting TFP better aligns SNAP benefits with the cost of a nutritionally adequate diet. Okay, here we go. If SNAP participants have questions about benefit changes due to a change in federal law, the temporary extra SNAP benefits that states began issuing in the spring of 2020 due to COVID-19 are ending after February 2023. But they should have issued that payment today. Some states have already ended these extra benefits. There's going to be a table down below. SNAP enrollees will still receive their regular SNAP benefits after these extra benefits end. If they have questions about their regular benefit, they can contact their state human services agency. Participants can also contact their state human services agency to update their information if one of the following applies, as it may increase their regular benefit. One, if they recently lost income, or two, if they experienced a recent increase in certain expenses, or they think the state doesn't know about these expenses, housing or childcare costs, child support payments, or if someone in their household who is 60 or older or has a disability has monthly medical expenses of $35 or more. So, kind of going back to April, asking about DoorDash wanting her to report every 6 months. Here again, it's saying, if you've lost income or if your expenses have gone up, then go ahead and report that to your caseworker. So just like if you're making more money, you should report that. If for any reason you're making less money, you should also let them know that. And or like if your rent goes up, your expenses go up. Hi Scotty, it's good to see you in here. I saw your comment last week that you missed it. Yeah. You guys, I'm going to start this off by saying just how grateful I am for everyone who still tunes in, even if it's sporadically, to the lives. I haven't really had much time to make videos, or I'm going to change that. I've probably had time, but I have not prioritized making videos. And so I really still like going live. I like doing YouTube. But for whatever reason, I'm having trouble putting out videos consistently. So I really appreciate you guys because this is my way to still do YouTube and have fun with it and interact with you guys by going live. Okay, so okay, the time frame for preparing for the end of EAs is short because the significant decrease will affect all SNAP households in the states that are still issuing EAs. It will be important for SNAP participants and local service providers, client advocate groups, retailers, and other stakeholders who communicate with SNAP participants to be aware of the timing of the reduction of benefits and to take measures to minimize or mitigate the impact on households and state agency operations. The upcoming end of EA's emergency allotments also highlights the continued importance of ensuring that households participating in SNAP can claim allowable deductions for expenses such as rent, utilities, dependent care, child support payments, and medical expenses. SNAP benefits are higher for households with these kinds of expenses, which reduce the money they have available for food. Agencies' efforts to ensure that households know about and claim these deductions will mean that their SNAP benefits more accurately reflect their food assistance needs. Temporary SNAP pandemic benefit increase was designed to respond to need caused by COVID-19. Congress and President Trump enacted temporary SNAP EAs in March of 2020 as part of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act to address temporary food needs during the pandemic. The law gave the USDA the authority to approve states' requests for EAs as long as the federal government's public health emergency, PHE, was in effect, and the state had issued an emergency or disaster declaration. All states used the option in 2020 and early 2021, though by late 22, some 17 states were no longer paying EAs because their state's emergency declarations had ended. An additional state, South Carolina, ended EAs after January of 2023. So households in 35 states will lose at least $95 a month as SNAP temporary pandemic benefits end. So I'm still confused about why it's saying that all the households, because I thought if you qualified for the maximum, you'd still get the maximum. So was there an extra $95 on top of the maximum? Anyway, okay. In the year-end government funding bill enacted in late December 2022, Congress terminated the temporary SNAP EAs after the February 2023 issuance, ending the tie to the federal PHE, which the president has announced will end on May 11th. This change was made as part of a bipartisan compromise that created a permanent summer electronic benefit transfer program to provide grocery benefits to replace school meals for some 30 million children in low-income families when schools are closed in the summer. Okay, so it looks like there is a permanent summer electronic benefit transfer program that's going to stay. Okay, so this is a time when families with school-age children are at higher risk for food insecurity. It is deeply unfortunate that to pay for this important advance, policymakers chose to end the EAs on a date certain rather than leaving them in place until the public health emergency ends. In recent months, the EAs have provided about $3 billion each month in additional SNAP benefits in the states in which they are in effect. Is that each state? Is that total? Okay, the year-end legislation left in place other temporary pandemic-related SNAP flexibilities, such as the suspension of the 3-month time limit for unemployed adults without children in their homes and expanded eligibility for low-income college students. But these will end when the federal PHE ends. CBOC's other temporary SNAP COVID-related food assistance that will end with the end of the PHE. All right, guys, we've read this much of it, so we might as well go ahead and keep on going unless you guys would like to switch topics. Let me check your comments here. Okay, so Debbie says, so sad to know these food help programs do not appropriate much more money to help. Prices are so high, you cannot buy very much with these high costs. No, and I know my mom has been going back to the food bank for a while. She likes going to the food bank. It gives her like somewhere to go and to get out of the house. I think sometimes she runs into her friends there, or like she knows probably some of the workers that are handing out some of the food at the food bank. And again, no shame in going to the food bank. And again, my mom knows that I would help her, but she she doesn't want to take from me. So she wants to go to the food bank, and it gives her a little outing. It gives her something to do. It gives her somewhere local to drive. She qualifies, I think, just because she's a senior to use the food bank. And that can really help supplement as well. And again, no shame in that. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you as well. Oh, Francis, I love you as well. Okay. Debbie says, really enjoys my lives. They're fun, informative, and connected. Thank you so much for saying that. I really enjoy them too. And so I'm glad that you guys are still enjoying them, and hopefully you're getting some value out of them as well. I know sometimes I just babble, but hopefully sometimes there's value also. Okay. Diane says, you've been trying to get your mother to apply for SNAP. She's retired. Just have her apply. See if she's eligible. And then they'll let her know if it's too much, if she's making too much, or if she's not making too much. And then again, though, do beware of, even though like they can't take your home, they can't take your car. If you have too much money in savings, they can kind of like deny you for that. So I think, what was that amount? It was like a little over $2,000. Okay. My mom says, anytime incomes goes up, food stamps go down. Your Social Security went up a lot this year. So essentially you lost the whole raise in food stamps, about $100. I'm sorry. Okay. Hi, little Rambo. Diane says to my mom, how much higher did her Social Security go up? It went up 8.7, much less for food stamps. So, Diane, your mom has no problems taking from you. Well, hopefully you're in a place where you're able to help her without it hurting you too much. Okay, let's go ahead and read these other things that are ending. The temporary SNAP COVID-related food assistance that will end with the end of the PHE. In addition to SNAP's emergency allotments, several other temporary SNAP measures were enacted early in the pandemic and remain tied to the PHE. The PHE will end on May 11th, though the timing of the impact of each change will vary slightly. 3-month time limit for able bodied adults without dependents, ABAWDs. The SNAP 3-month limit that applies to certain adults without disabilities and without children in their home was temporarily suspended nationwide during the PHE, except in limited circumstances. The end of the federal PHE in May means that the clock on the time limit will start in July. As a result, individuals subject to the time limit will lose their SNAP benefits starting in October unless they live in a waived area or meet the other exemptions in place before the PHE ends. B, let's read that. For detailed description of the time limit, see Ed Bullen, blah, blah, blah. These people permanently end SNAP, cut off to support more equitable recovery. What? Okay, so basically it looks like they waived the requirement for certain adults to have to work or like be involved in a work program. And they're going to be putting that back in place if you don't have kids or if you don't have adults with disabilities. Okay, college students. Okay, here's more on that. Okay. During the PHE, Congress provided 2 temporary exemptions to expand SNAP eligibility for certain college students who otherwise would not qualify for SNAP. 1, students eligible to participate in state or federal work-study programs, and 2, those whose expected family contribution for purposes of federal financial aid calculations is 0. These temporary exemptions will remain in place for 30 days after the end of the PHE for new SNAP applicants. Participating students will be reassessed at the household's next SNAP recertification, which will likely occur over the course of the following 12 months. And again, that's where maybe I would be careful. And like, it's so hard. Like, you know what? Just let them deal with it when they deal with it. Because I feel like even though calling and being like, hey, do I need to do anything because these changed? So often when there is a new change, like a lot of the caseworkers have probably only been working the cases since the pandemic started. So if you call them, like as soon as the information comes out, they often don't know what you're talking about anyway. So like my initial reaction was to tell you guys, hey, like if there's been any change, if you think that you might be affected by this, don't wait until they call you because you don't want to end up in a situation where they're like, oh, well, now we've overpaid you. But at the same time, if you call them first, they might be confused about it. Okay, state workload waivers. Congress gave the USDA additional flexibility during the PHE to help states manage their workloads, process new applications, and keep eligible households connected to SNAP. This authority will end after the PHE ends, though the Food and Nutrition Service will be able to offer states some flexibility under separate authority. Oh, this is sad. Okay. Temporary emergency allotments pushed back against hunger during COVID. Was calls to 211 for help with food in the first 2 months of the pandemic were over 4 times greater than earlier in 2020. Use of food banks also increased. In the Great Recession, the share of households that were food insecure rose from 11.1% in 2007 to 14.7% in 2009. Okay, because that was the Great Recession, not the COVID. Okay, yet because of broad and robust relief measures, including the EAs, soon after COVID emerged, the typical annual measure of food insecurity in 2020 and 2021 held steady at just over 10%, statistically unchanged from the 2019 level. One study estimated the EAs kept 4.2 million people above the poverty line in the last quarter of 2021, reducing poverty by 10% and child poverty by 14% in states with the EAs at the time. The reduction in poverty rates due to EAs was highest for Black and Latino people. Another study examined the changes in rates of food insufficiency, a more severe condition of food hardship than the food insecurity that was measured periodically over the course of the pandemic. When states ended the EAs and found that EAs reduced food insufficiencies by 10%. The temporary EAs have been the largest of the SNAP COVID related relief measures, ultimately reaching all SNAP households in all states. Originally, beginning in March 2020, under a Trump administration interpretation. Sorry about that beeping in the background if you guys can hear that. A house's EA was the amount that raised the household's benefits to the SNAP maximum benefit for its household size. However, this approach left out the lowest income SNAP households, the 40% of SNAP households that already received the maximum benefit. The Biden administration revised this policy, and since April of 2021, all households in states with EAs have received EAs of at least $95 a month. Okay, so that thing is annoying me, the beeping. Anyway, why is that happening? Can you guys hear that? Anyway, let's see what Diane says. Diane says, you voluntarily pay for her cell phone and the internet. You're also buying her an iWatch so she can always call for help when needed. Oh, that's a good idea. I feel like my mom wouldn't quite know how to do that. And like my iWatch, they're not called iWatches. I call it that also though, my Apple Watch. So I have an Apple Watch and mine does not have like the cellular data or whatever it is. Okay, so no. So this is the last payment today. Today is when they paid for February. So this is the last $95 extra on the food stamps. So this is the scheduled day that they were planning on giving that out. So this is the last month that they're receiving it, but it's actually a payment for February. So please let her know that this is going to be her last one of $95. So she, you know, or you don't have to let her know, but it's just like I worry that people aren't going to know that this is their last additional payment of the extra $95. Yeah. So February, they say it ended in February, but they like lag the extra payment by a month. And so yeah, this is the last one. And a lot of times with these government programs, they make it very hard to figure out why something is happening. That car is still beeping. They make it very hard to determine why something is happening. And here's, I think, my main concern is that people are going to go nuts because of this car honking in the background. My concern is that people have been getting it so long now that they're not going to realize that it's ever ending. Like when you get used to this, so this has been since like March of 2020 that people have been getting the extra. So March of 20, this is almost 3 years later. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Yeah, it's like almost 3 years later. So people have been getting this extra for a really long time. And when you start getting this extra for such a long time, and then they take it away, I just feel like most people aren't necessarily thinking about this on a daily basis. For most of us, I'm making an assumption here, right? Based on my own experience, I'd fully disclose that. But I think that and my mom's experience, but anyway, I think now my mom is aware because she budgets carefully. She likes watching the news, but I think a lot of people just don't necessarily think about it. They don't understand what the money is from or for. So I'm worried that next month's going to roll around and people have become so used to getting the extra amount, kind of getting paid like 2 separate times a month on their food stamps. Oh, I get some on this date and I get more on this date. I'm concerned that next month is going to be the month where people are like, wait, where's this extra money? I was counting on this and it's not going to be there. That's always my concern, is that like you guys aren't going to know, and so you're not going to be able to plan. So yeah, Diane, please let her know. So again, that's kind of why I was like, if she's buying like foods that they don't give out at food banks are, milk, creamer, like dairy products usually, unless it's yogurt. They give out yogurt a lot at the food bank. But anyway, but those things don't necessarily keep a long time. So maybe like if she has like a special pantry treat that she likes that she wants to keep on hand, maybe she wants to stock up on coffee. And my mom goes to Grocery Outlet a lot to get her coffee. She says that that's one of the places that has the most flavors and the best pricing. So things like coffee, whatever treats that you like, that she likes, that can be shelf stable, stock up on shelf stable treats for yourself. To me, coffee is a treat. Anything like that you can buy now and kind of save up in the pantry so that, when you need to buy it again, you already have it, basically, since that's ending. That's kind of my advice. Okay, Debbie says, it's so wrong that a Social Security increase muffs out the food stamp hike. Just wrong. What is the government thinking or not? Yeah, these programs, they don't talk to each other very well. And the amount that, Diane, possibly in Burbank, my mom's Grocery Outlet is in like La Puente. So that's where she goes to that. Yeah. $95 is help people. It must be kept coming monthly. Yeah, but they're just not going to do it. Like, we could write to our assembly members, would be my advice. And that's going to be that findyourrep.ca.gov website. Where the best prices grocery stores. Help mom. So, you could go to the 99-cent store. So, and Diane, I'm sort of like, I'm in the middle of everything, right? I'm like 15 minutes from downtown. I'm 15 minutes from Santa Monica. I'm 15 minutes from Hollywood, 15 minutes. So that's kind of like the area I'm at. So Burbank would be about 30 minutes from me. And then where my mom is about 30 minutes from me as well, depending on traffic, in Los Angeles, that could be a 2-hour drive. But yeah, it really depends. Maybe I should make videos on this. There's so many things that I want to make videos on. And then like when it's my day off, I'm just like, no, I'm tired. And then I'm like, do I push myself? Do I not push myself? My mom is saying, yeah, so the $95, today is the last time that's happening though. Okay, so let me see if I can find that, because I really think that's gonna confuse people. So when is the last extra food stamp payment? What? Oh, dang it. No, that's not I don't want to leave this. Okay. This one. When is the last extra food stamp payment? Okay. It's right here. We don't even have to click anything. SNAP EA benefits ending. Despite passing a 1.7 trillion spending bill, no additional funding was included for SNAP emergencies allotments, meaning the extra SNAP EA boost will end in March of 2023. And there's even like, oh, this is so sad. Hunger spike feared as food. Where's this headline? You guys saw it a second ago, right? Okay. So, no light at the other end. Impending loss of pandemic CalFresh boost could trigger hunger spike. Is this a food bank, or those carrots look real good? Yeah, this is a food bank. That looks delicious. So, let's just also look at this picture for a second, because some people are like, oh, this is, not food bank food is not good, but look at those. Those carrots look delicious. Yeah, for nearly 3 years, an increase in federal aid has allowed California to issue higher than usual amounts in food stamps, and that ends in April. But the last payment just came through today. And I don't think I had somewhere a schedule of this, and food banks across California are bracing for a feared spike in hunger amid inflated prices after a pandemic era boost in food ends in April. But it actually just ended. Okay. March is the last month CalFresh recipients will get the additional benefits as the federal government cuts off the emergency allotments that have kept food stamp allowances higher than usual for nearly 3 years now. The average household, these numbers are even different depending on what you look at. The average household will lose about $200 a month. Government Relations Director at the California Association of Food Banks, a single person household, for instance, could drop from $281 a month in food aid to as low as $23 in April. U.S. Department of Agriculture documents show that since November, the pandemic boost have amounted to more than $500 million a month in additional food stamps coming into low-income Californians' budgets. There's no way to overstate how devastating this is going to be, Silva said. Families are going to see a dramatic and sudden drop in their food benefits at a time when food price inflation and the cost of living in California especially is through the roof. Food stamps are funded by the federal government, which determines benefit amounts annually based on the nationwide cost of living as well as recipients' household size and income. In March 2020, Congress allowed the USDA to give states funding to boost all recipients' aid to the maximum allowable benefits for their household size, or add $95 on top for those already receiving the maximum. The recent congressional spending bill passed in December cuts that off this spring in exchange for funding for extra food aid for school children during the summer months. More than 2.9 million California households receive food assistance through CalFresh, a number that has risen steadily throughout the pandemic. The state social services department attributes the increase partially to a more flexible application process during the pandemic, while advocates like Silva also suggest the boost in aid made going through an application more worthwhile for eligible residents. But now again, so yes, there's that teeny tiny amount that's the minimum amount, right? And so like, what did we say? Was that $23, $13? When my mom first qualified, I want to say it was only $13, but she gets coffee creamer. So that would pay for like a package of ground coffee, and it would pay for the coffee creamer. So even though $13, it does add up. So I would say if you're thinking about getting it, and you don't think it's worth it, I would do it. Yeah, my mom says get locations from the internet. Okay, so in terms of groceries, I really like I have a local bodega. Food for Less is normally pretty affordable. Superior is normally pretty affordable. But you want to watch the sales too in those publications that come out, because sometimes, and actually I'm very lucky I have a grocery store that I can walk to. So maybe on Saturday they've got meat on sale because they know you're getting ready to do your barbecue. So maybe on Saturday you wake up and you walk to the store and that's when you buy your meat. But you don't get your vegetables until Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when those are on sale. And I could do a little circle and I could walk to another grocery store. Then this gets me out in the daylight and gets me a little exercise. But watch those ads in your grocery, in your mailbox. See when things are on sale. See when things are on sale at your grocery, that you can buy them at a discount if you go on a certain day, and then plan to do your shopping on those days. So yeah. Mom, yeah, that's what we're saying. Today is the last extra food stamps for California. Yeah. Okay, so what are the names of the best grocery stores? So it depends on what you're buying. Also, like my mom likes Grocery Outlet for coffee, but I think we've determined that they're not the best on meat. And or like Grocery Outlet and Aldi. My mom likes there's one seasoned meat that she likes from Aldi, but the other one is weird. So so and really really watch the specials. So my mom's saying Grocery Outlet. I think Food for Less and Superior Market, I find those to be cheaper if you're going on the days when they have things on sale. And it kind of sucks, like you either have to go grocery shopping twice a week or you have to go, when something's not on sale. So maybe you can alternate weeks. Maybe one week you go when the produce is on sale, the next week you go when the meat is on sale. Because I know for a lot of you, like going to the grocery store twice a week is a lot, but that really can help. Also, my mom used to be, and I guess by default, I used to be Northgate. Yeah, Northgate should be a good market. And I want to say they're called R markets. You could also, so I'm torn on recommending the 99-cent store, which is now like the $1.25 store, but they sometimes have good deals on groceries. But the portion size is often smaller. Oh, coffee, not coffee at the grocery outlet. Oh, Walmart. You like getting coffee from Walmart. Maybe it was just the specialty flavors they had. But really watch the ads and check out like some couponing techniques, because couponing in general. Oh, you know what? This would be a good time to drop. I just signed up for something called Rakuten. I don't know how to do it. Do you guys use that? Let me see if I can do that and drop a link. Now, this is only for shopping that you're already going to be doing. But you get like a $30 thing after your first purchase. So I'll drop the link to that. It's kind of like find coupons. Okay, we're going to add the Chrome extension. I'm going to sign in. I don't remember what my password is. It's in my phone. I save it in my phone. So there's, you want to combine, like, you want to do Ibotta. You want to do Rakuten. Am I saying that right? Probably not. But you want to do all these things so that you're getting like the most money back. I think with couponing, and especially like extreme couponing, I think that the best deals are had on like things like deodorant and laundry detergent and shampoo and conditioner and lotion and those sorts of things. Toilet paper, if you can find the right kind of deal. I didn't save it. What is wrong with me? How did I not save it? I was setting up a bunch of stuff. Nope, that's not it. Well, shoot. Yeah, watch the weekly ads for groceries. Dang it, I really want to. Share this Rakuten. I don't know. Continue. Did I already sign in? Okay, let's shop. Okay. Where is refer and earn? Okay, so I'm doing this Rakuten thing. Sorry, I'm going to share. So if you guys aren't doing this, I would do this. How do I do this? Okay, we're going to copy this link. And I'll share it here. Okay, so my code on Rakuten is apparently Shelly 29544. Shelly 295. I don't know. Copy and paste the thing that I just dropped in chat. So this you get. Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me share this. Oh no. Okay, we are sharing. Rachel, you use your shower wash for shampoo. You highly don't recommend that Major Frizz. Yeah. You know what I actually like? I like the Dove shampoo and I don't mind the Suave shampoo, but there's usually coupons for that. So you can use your coupons for that and then use the money that you save by using coupons for like Bath and Body Wash to buy actual food. So this is one of those websites where you can save 8%, but I think that if you do like Walmart, where it's like save up to 3%. Okay, well, it took that up. Anyway, this site will save you money, and then let me do Ibotta also. I'm going to drop that in the chat because you can use food stamps to get items on Ibotta, and then from there you can actually get cash back, which I think is pretty cool. And I definitely have done that. Let's see here. Is it going to log me in? Oh. All right. Well, that's asking for too many details. Uh-oh. Okay, Debbie, Walmart is consistently price effective on so many items, probably best for list shopping. Yeah, for sure. For sure that would be a good one to do. And they also on Ibotta, they have really good things. All right, let me see here. I'm just going to type in my Ibotta code for you guys here. Because if you're not already doing these things, and Shopkick is another one that me and my mom like. So let's see here. So I don't know if you guys can see. You can't see anything because I'm not showing you. But so my mom bought me an air fryer and I got it on bestbuy.com and I launched Ibotta first and I saved 50 cents by doing that. There's all sorts of bonuses. So I went to Walmart and I got back $23.04. So yeah, and through my lifetime on being a member with Ibotta, I've saved $1,322.64. So yeah, you can see right here that I definitely go to Walmart a lot when I'm trying to get the Ibotta bonuses. Hold on, let me see my little code for that. Type it in for you guys if you're not using Ibotta. Where's my refer and earn? Okay, so my code on Ibotta is MLKUCCA. Mom, you're probably I'm gonna want you to sign up for that Rakuten website. You'll get $30, and I think I get $30 too after you make your first purchase. Also, something that I do is I'll use Groupons like for food and or to get those cashback offers when I'm looking for something fun to do with my mom. Okay, so do couponing. Watch your local grocery store ads to see like, okay, I need grapes this week. Grapes are going to be on sale on Tuesday at Food for Less, or meat's going to be on sale at Northgate Market. Like, do watch the ads, figure out what you need to buy, stick to a list, and then combine it with sites like Rakuten and Ibotta. Sprouts does $10 off 40 sometimes. Yeah, and that's going to be like a mailer in your mailbox and or in the weekly grocery store ads. So really use those in combination. You know, you guys are going to be okay, right? You're going to be okay. Your friends, your family, you're going to be okay. We're going to get through this, but we're going to use some of these tips for saving money. I'm also going to say, Frances, like I bet your daughter, she's probably at the age where she might be a little embarrassed if mom is using coupons, as mom is using all these discounts. I know that I was. When I was younger, I was a pain in the butt to my mom. So mom, I'm sorry. Um, I was just mortified, right? Just absolutely mortified when we were paying with food stamps. I was like, everybody's going to know we're poor. The grocery store clerks, though, they don't care. They're just there to do a job. They're not judging you. And the other people, they don't know like what's going on in your situation, right? So, yeah. Okay. All right. GS. Yep, you got it in the mail. It expired for March 14th. That's so frustrating. You know, kids are a pill, right? Like we don't want anybody to know anything about what's going on like in our personal lives. So, I do love that like the CalFresh and the EBT, it looks like a debit card now. It's much more discreet. It used to be like you have to stand there with like this coupon book and like rip it off and like hand it to the cashier. And that was pretty obvious. Like nobody should be looking that close at how you're paying for your groceries anyway, like to see what sort of debit card you're using. Um we all were until the funeral bill comes. Oh, all right. All right, you guys. So yeah, we're going to be more cautious with our money and we got to look for more ways to save, and I'll be on the lookout for those for you guys. All right, you guys, again, I really appreciate all of you being here. I really love going live. I hope that you found some value in this. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.